guys? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie. I welcome you to come into these tarot readings with an open heart, an open mind, and a desire to better yourself. This is optional advice or guidance meant to motivate you, empower you, inspire you, and offer you confirmations on things that you are already thinking and feeling and sensing. If you don't resonate with the material that comes through, please push those messages aside. They may resonate for you at a later date, and they may not. Have faith it's going out to someone who needs to hear it, even if it is not you. Use your logic, your discretion, your discernment. Separate what is meant for you and what is not. I come at this with love and positivity, so please take that away here today. You are responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's try and have some fun. To get you some insightful messages, check out that box below for the decks I use, how to contact me for a personal, as well as my social media links. Welcome to the tea party. Let's read your tarot cards. What's up, Aries gang? Welcome to your December monthly. Let's start you off with an oracle, music oracle. Oh, you got two, you sneaks. All right, Bob Marley. A small axe can fell the tallest tree. The fruits of Babylon are rotten to the core. Everything that is holy is among us here on earth. Aquarian vibes. Bob Marley, very cool. And you also got John Cage, I think. Ooh, who got this? Capricorn, maybe? Somebody else got this. Don't fall in love with your first idea. Surrender to chance. All great art contains at its center contemplation. I think Sagittarius got this, a fellow fire sign. So we'll keep these beautiful men in mind as we work our way through your reading. Not my reading, your reading. Let's start off with love. Tell me about Aries' love life. Timestamps down below, guys. We're going to start with love, romance, relationships. Second half will be career, money, finances, things of the sort. I can only say what the cards tell me, so bear that in mind. I will do my best to get you thorough messages here for Aries. Oh, we're starting out with the Three of Swords. Was there a Virgo who broke your heart because they were looking elsewhere? Ooh, yeah, I don't know if I like this. Yeah, it was like a... We're in the word meat, but kind of in like a sexual sense. Like, they thought you were cute. They liked the way you looked. But yeah, you may have been wasting your time on someone who was shopping around. So, yeah, word to the wise. If that's your story, it doesn't bode well. But I'll pull one more card on it. We'll switch. Judge, yeah, you're going to be happier alone. There's a judgment coming where you're like, freedom. Like, it's not freedom in terms of that person. And again, you may be dealing with multiple Virgos. This is the one that treated you like a piece of meat, male or female. They liked the attention they got from it, but their heart wasn't in it. So hopefully that's not everyone's message, but yeah, I don't like that one. Just being honest, don't shoot the messenger. That one doesn't feel strong enough to survive. If you're looking for hit it and quit it, well, hey, it's right there. Go tap that, right? Anyway. And no shame, right? I totally understand people are not always looking for long-term forever and ever. That's fine. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm just saying, oh, judgment again. Okay. Spirit's like, we're not done talking about the past. Let's go back to the past. Okay. So again, for better or worse, let's see what the past is wanting to bring up. I almost called you Virgo. Interesting. Aries, do you have a Virgo coming in? You never have to take anyone back from the past that you don't want, but Spirit is saying you're still holding on to something from the past, so whether you choose to pursue it or not romantically, you need to clear out the cycle. You need to bring closure to it, whether that means restarting something with your old flame or again, just bringing it to conclusion so that you're not carrying it around. For a lot of you, you're being told to go back and it's like seal up the wounds, the damage that was done, right? It's saying, I think, heal from it properly. That's really what Three of Swords is, so that when you move on to the new relationship, and I do think a lot of you are being asked to almost like wake up, like a spiritual awakening that there's new stuff out there, and yet we're still holding out for the old person. Again, not everyone, but for a majority of my Aries, you're being told, I'm going to give you something good, something brand new, but first we got to close out that thing with the person you're still thinking about, or energetically you may still have attachments to them. So let's do this. Tell me about the past, and then we'll talk about the future here. So, and again, you can decide who you want to invest your time in. I'm just reading the messages, just giving you the energy. Aries, what is this one? Oh, you were dating like the struggling actor. I heard method actor. So if you weren't dating an actor, though, in a sense there is like an element of you got played a little bit. Like they were putting on a performance for you. They were afraid to actually be vulnerable. And to be honest, I don't know if it's vulnerable. I think this person, especially a Leo maybe, or a Taurus maybe, they weren't being authentic with you because they didn't want you to see what was really underneath. Probably because, they have their own kind of scars and baggage and damage that was done in past relationships. But they have like this defense mechanism, but there's also like a false appearance. And I know people tend to throw the word narcissist around a lot. I think unnecessarily, but there is an element of that a little bit. So you'll know if it's your story. It won't be everyone's story. Yeah, this person liked to tell you what you wanted to hear, but I'm getting that it was all talk and no game. It was no action. It was there was something about this where it put you in this state of dreaminess, like, oh, could it be? Is it like almost hopeless romantic? Only I think you were relying heavily on what it could be, not what it actually was. Possibly with a water sign. I think there may be two water signs coming through here. Certainly there's one kind of like, there's one energy I definitely don't like. They were almost like gaslighting you. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't like it. You also have a King of Cups showing up in your past. I was going to say, I actually get good vibes from it. Possibly a Pisces. And a Cancer. Okay, so and there was a divine pairing here. So some of you may have cut it off from an ex-husband or an ex-wife. Others of you may be holding out for someone, or your narcissist, possibly, whatever. There's like a put on here. They may have been married. That may have been the secret, or they may have been very committed because either you were part of this pairing or you were not. These go together not because of their gender, because it's quite literally they match, the King and Queen of Cups, right? So if you were not married to this person, if you were not in a very serious, committed relationship, there was third-party stuff going on. They chose another queen. Do you understand what I mean? Again, really, you have all three water signs. You have Pisces, you have Scorpio, and you have Cancer. The moon does indicate secrets or the idea of fantasy, but not necessarily living in reality. Some of you weren't dealing with someone who was awful or someone who was cruel. They just, again, they kind of said things and didn't deliver on them. So whatever the situation is, I'm still sort of getting gaslighting, or I'm hearing moonlight, actually, right? Again, let me romance you, let me charm you, Knight of Cups, let me tell you what you want to hear. But when it comes to it, I do get a very selfish vibe from this person. I just do. It's, again, I keep wanting to rely on the metaphor of like the method actor. I just do. It's like, I'm going to pretend I'm this person throughout, but it's like, it's not really my identity, right? You know, I'm thinking like Marlon Brando and, Rebel Without a Cause there, James Dean. It's like, they go home pretending they're something, even in their own home when you're supposed to be able to let down your hair. And it's just, I don't know, you're dealing with kind of an actor. I'm sorry, Aries. So anyway, let's talk about the future. I do think energetically you're still holding on to them because, quite frankly, they're showing up in your spread. So I think you're being asked why. Some of you are really confused why it didn't work. And I think over time, the truth surrounding this mystery or the suspicion is going to reveal itself. Like even maybe on social media, eventually you're going to see pictures of them with the other person. In fact, it may be someone they work with. Anyway. Sorry, that was a harsh one. I'm sorry. Don't shoot the messenger. But I think it's saying if you feel like this needs closure, by all means seek it out. But that doesn't necessarily mean getting closure from that person. It's you finding closure internally so that it's not impeding on your future success of relationships, okay? Ace of Wands. Tell me about this new beginning. Fire signs are looking good, especially a musician fire sign. Or someone who's a foreigner. They may have an accent. They're from a different country or a different upbringing, or even like a different spiritual background, however you want to say it. There's something sort of foreign about it. It's new. It's different. It's intriguing. I am sort of getting they have it like a European accent. So again, for some of you, might be a Sagittarius. Yeah, that definitely goes with like world travel. Sagittarians, the archers, the wanderers, the warriors, or their house, the ninth house, rules like travel, like long-term travel. So, yeah, you have a Sagittarius showing up, and they're a goofball. They're really funny, but they're really cute. They may actually have a small daughter or a small child already, but they're willing to communicate. I'm almost getting a sharp dynamic between person A and person B. If you're dealing with the past person and the new person, these two are sharply contrasted. And again, this won't make sense for all of you, but underneath all of this, again, method actor, I'm going to pretend to be who you want me to be. It was to hide the emotions of what was actually going on. I think this person was hurting deeply, but they would never tell you that. And so there was a falsity put on it. I'm good. I'm great. This person's kind of, I almost want to say a mess, but I know that has such a negative connotation. It's not in terms of like their life is messy. This person is like, I don't even want to use the word immature because, again, it denotes something very negative. There's something just very unique and different and bizarre about this person, but they wear their heart on their sleeve. What you see is what you get. So stick with the metaphor here, right? But it's like they're showing up in a damn bunny costume. They're a full-grown adult, right? And you're like, what is this? That's exactly what this is. This person thought it would be hilarious to wear this to a costume, or not even a costume party, your Christmas party, and they did. It actually looks like the Pink Nightmare, right, from the Christmas Story. Have you guys seen that movie? But that's what I mean. You don't need to dig tremendously deep to understand who this person is because they actually wear their heart on their sleeve. Now, there's part of that where you're going to write them off because you're essentially judging the book by the cover. But what I'm getting at, though, is what they're doing and what they're expressing. It might be a little bit wacky or kooky, but it actually shows that they have a very warm sensibility about them. They're in touch with their inner child. This person likes to have fun. This person likes to be silly. This person likes to make you laugh. But underneath it, I'm not getting that it's a disguise or it's not a tactic to shield you from the serious stuff. It is actually saying underneath this, pink bunny costume that they wore, again, metaphor, guys, it makes you smile, but you're kind of like, what's the deal? Like this, like, I feel like they think this is a joke, but it didn't really land. Something about that. Anyway, underneath their temperance, though, underneath it's like they have a good balance to them. There's darkness and there's light, there's fire and there's water, right? There's opposite dynamics, but they work together and they create this little crazy. Again, this person may be a single parent or a single child, and I'm not saying they're not responsible. Again, I didn't want to use the word immature in terms of they don't have their shit together. It's more that they have although I'm getting a little bit of both. I'm hearing like Peter Pan, like I want to, stay young forever and live in Never Land. But I get the idea that they've had to be responsible, especially if they have a kid. They're very responsible. They have a job, But again, you may view them as they don't have like a big boy job or a big girl job. So I don't know. I'm just getting the impression you may write this new person off, but you are kind of intrigued about their story. Again, Aries, by no means do you have to consider this, but I'm sort of getting that this might actually bring you a lot of joy. And again, rather than going into a relationship of, is this my future, wife or my future husband, go in with low expectations in terms of what it's going to be in 10 years. Just go in to have fun. Go out on a coffee date or grab drinks to just simply interact with someone, to meet someone, because I think it might surprise you. I just like, yeah, thank you. I was gonna say, I just like the vibe and I can't really express why. I feel like I'm not doing you justice to aptly explain what's going on with this person, but there's potential wish fulfillment here. So something that it's not necessarily what you, I'm going to say this, it's not necessarily what you want, it's what you need. And I think over time you will come to realize there's a nice either yin and yang to the balance of what this new person brings to your life, or just simply compatibility. You guys kind of are on the same page in terms of either what you're looking for. I would say you probably approach situations slightly differently, but I like that too because it offers you a different perspective. Rather than living in your head and making decisions solely about, well, I think this, and so I'm going to do that. In any relationship, you got to meet each other halfway. I don't think this person is going to impede upon your freedoms, especially your intellectual freedoms, especially if they're Sagittarius. They're going to be like, yeah, let's expand. Let's talk about lots of things. I think this person brings a lighthearted energy to your life that you so desperately need. There's like a falsity with this old person, this impersonator, this, again, like the actor type. And I'm not shitting on actors. Some of you may out watching this now may be actors. That's fine. But the idea of I'm performing for you, it's like, no, that's your job. You shouldn't have to perform, in terms of a falsity in front of your person. Like that's where it doesn't match up for me. And as I'm saying perform, I feel like that may have to do with something in the bedroom. Maybe that's what kept you sort of holding out hope for this person, is because maybe they were very, dynamic in the bedroom. There was like sexual attraction. Sure, I get it. But, you will find that again. Like there will be other people who are able to deliver in that department as well. In fact, they're showing up with Ace of Wands. So just saying, there's your sex card, right? All right, let's, Nine of Cups. Tell me... I don't know, so what's the deciding factor here? What can we tell Aries about these? We already know a little bit about each person. You may have met this person during Halloween, or their birthday may fall near Halloween if they're maybe a Scorpio. Something about the Halloween costume or playing dress up, or I don't know what that metaphor has to do with this, but a costume. Did you make a costume for them? Did you... If anything, this person is a little bit, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I'm just going to say it. This person is a little bit flaky or late. They're bad at meeting deadlines in terms of, okay, well, I'll meet you there at 7:30. You know, it's like 7:45 and they're just rolling in. It's that type of like, there's little things that I think are poking at you that you're like, oh, I don't like that. They rub me the wrong way. But I'm being called to say, I don't know. You may have a change of heart about this person. There's little things that bother you, but again, in terms of grand scheme of like relationships, they're nitpicky things. They might be flighty. They might be a little bit forgetful. You might be dealing with a Sagittarius. God bless them, right? Okay, anyway. Okay, here's what's important. They'll remember the important things. They'll remember your birthday. You know what I mean? The important stuff they'll remember. They may forget to pick up the milk on the way home, so shoot them a text, right? Shoot them the extra. Like, again, it's not a big deal. Don't nitpick at things that don't really matter. Certainly, if it's big things and they absolutely matter, it will make or break your relationship. So yeah, advocate those. And if it's not your person, it's not your person, but... yeah, this person would want to build with you. You guys may help each other out career-wise, so not only could... and I'm not saying you would necessarily work together. I feel like you have mutual friends that you could network and help the other person, even if you have vastly different careers. Though I have to be honest, I am getting kind of a vibe of hanging out backstage together. So I don't know if you're doing like stand-up comedy or if you're doing like... I don't know, even like working at some sort of like exercise studio. It could be someone at like a mutual class you take at the gym, or it's something like, you know, discussions behind the scenes or discussions whenever, I don't know, at the theater group, whatever this is, Aries. I sort of get that that's how you know each other. You may have met this person even at like an audition or an interview, something like that. And I don't know if there's a circumstance where you've bumped into them multiple times. Maybe you guys are going for the same job. But nonetheless, what I'm getting at is there's something mutual you guys already have in common, whether you know this person or not yet. And I feel like you could network to help each other get a foot in the door to pursue your guys' career dreams. And so, like, I guess what I'm saying is it's mutually beneficial. Even if you just choose to be friends with this person, and that's fine. Again, putting your best foot forward and showing the universe, I'm willing to put myself out there and try on someone new. Okay, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. It doesn't mean this has to be your person for life, but I think it would do you well to detach from the person of the past who led you astray, because I think you got kind of lost in your head, and because of this situation, you may have developed some some trust issues. Yeah. There was such a fakeness to this person that I think in time you're going to see, and you're going to be like, I know it hurts initially for some of you. Others of you, it doesn't. It's almost like ripping a Band-Aid at once. It's like, oh my God, I'm free. Finally, like, let's get some fresh air on the wound, right? I think you're going to be relieved in time that you didn't stick around for this person, because there's just something pretentious about them, or I don't know. There's something about they're not truthful with who they really are. And it's almost like they've created this fictitious character for themselves. Again, the method actor. They're projecting this idea of who they are when really it's not who they are. It's who they want to be. But it's superficial. That's a good word. There's a superficiality about this past person. And again, you know, you were sold on it, right? Because you thought it was true. You thought it was real. You thought that's who that person really was. But again, it was the glamour. It was, yeah. You fell for it, hook, line, and sinker, and you know, touche, you got me. But yeah, I think you quickly realize, oh, you're not who I thought you were. That's all the closure you need, is like, oh, I get it now. I fell for your trick. You know, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, you know? So fool me twice is coming up here. Like, really? Are we really going to hold on to this person? Anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of Leo energy. I'll be honest, both these people could be Leos. You may have two Leos coming in. We're off to the races. I see you lacing up sneakers to run a marathon. Obviously, for most of you, this is a metaphor, right? But certainly, if you're running a marathon, go for it. Seems legit. Yeah, I see you, again, in metaphor, like lacing up your sneakers and like, okay, I'm ready. I think that means like I'm ready to go in the next one. Like I heard the calling. Spirit is asking me to wrap up my old cycle, judgment, so I can, you know, graduate from this old person and into the new. You may have met this person in like, I want to say like film school. There's something so like artsy, pretentious, and like, I just, it's funny to me because like, I feel like we all know these people. It's like, they don't even wear glasses, they don't have prescription glasses, but they wear glasses, and like, you know, they're smoking clove cigarettes, and what did you think of James Cameron's last film? Like, that's the vibe I get, only like, they've never seen Aliens. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they've never seen, like, the pinnacle James Cameron movies or whatever. Maybe that's too obscure. Whatever. Right? Who's a famous director everybody would know? Stanley Kubrick. Y'all know him? Steven Spielberg. Yeah, Steven Spielberg. Blah, 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 blah. But they've never seen E.T. They've never seen Jaws. It's that type of, like, wait a minute. What? Like, we're putting the cart before the horse here. Like, you may have even called this person out on being really fake. And I want you to know, you cut deep when you said that, and I'm going to be honest, rightfully so, because you gave them a harsh dose of reality of like, don't put on this air and disguise yourself of something when that's not what you are. It's like, this is live your authentic truth. By all means, if you want to be the, you know, the art student and the playwright, and by all means do it, but do it authentically. Don't tell the people what you think they want to hear. You know, express your truth, and then you'll find your audience. Yeah, I just don't like that. There's a superficiality to that. Anyway, moving back to your story, it's like you're in metaphor, you're lacing up your sneakers to run the next race, and I think the next race is going to lead you to something where it's like you're, again, metaphors, you're jogging in the park and you see something, you're like, did I just see that? Like, you're running past it like, that was weird. But then you see it again the next day. Maybe you meet this person on your jogging trail. But the thing is, it keeps showing up, and I think over time, it makes you giggle. There's something very funny and innocent about this. And this person knows what they're doing, too. It's not false. The way they live their life, it's very tongue-in-cheek. This person loves to make other people laugh. And again, I mean, maybe that's what you need, especially from someone who's so serious. And yes, let's talk about art and blah, blah, blah. I'm not hating on them per se. I don't like their vibe. This person loves to be silly and play and laugh. And I have to be honest, knowing the few friends I have who are Aries, that would be great for you guys, right? Because you have this beautiful spirit and you love to have fun and you love to laugh. So it's like, I'm almost getting the idea of this was trying to date someone who possibly Aries. You may have viewed them as intellectually superior, but there was something very attractive. Like, oh my God, they're so smart and they're so intelligent. Like, I'm so fascinated by them. But again, when you lift the veil, you lift the curtain, you're like, oh, no, that's not what I thought. It's the opposite. This person, you may write them off as silly or dumb or immature, but if you lift the veil, there's actually a lot of intelligence behind this. It's almost like this spoof that's meant to make you laugh. Anyway, I hope this makes sense. You may be going from one Leo to another. And so again, like never chalk up this ex who did you dirty as, oh, Capricorn. Capricorns are all bad. Because again, you're going to miss out on a really beautiful opportunity with a different Capricorn. Or whatever it is. Do you understand what I mean? Leo, Capricorn, Taurus, Cancer, Pisces, whoever is coming up. Sagittarius is coming up a lot. It has nothing to do with that zodiac sign, right? Don't project all of that onto the zodiac sign because you may miss out on an opportunity. I see you going from one to the other, and they may have a very similar sun sign or moon sign or whatever. Anyway, the Empress and the Fool. Yeah, starting over with someone who's actually going to treat you right. I'm hearing someone who will deliver on the goods. Again, they're going to make you laugh. They're kind of silly. They're kind of ridiculous. I see you guys dressing up together. So maybe you're dressing up and going out to formal events. Maybe I see you guys being in like an acting troupe, like method acting or not method acting. What do you call it? Like performance art, but it's kind of weird. Like even like if I'm just giving the example, right? Metaphors. Tarot speaks in metaphors, but something about what this person's humor, it's a very specific brand of humor. And I think you will get it over time, but it's so true. And that's what I love about it. Like, again, Aquarius, Sagittarius vibes, super strong. They're not doing it for the sake of being weird. Like, they actually think it's funny, but they also, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain this, and I know I'm not doing it justice. I'm just going to say I like the vibe here. I really do. So take it with a grain of salt. You can always start here and look elsewhere, but I think it's about putting your best foot forward. Yeah, you're going to marry this person, this old person. And it's also saying a lot of you, your false, pretentious, egomaniac person, they were married or they were engaged or something. Yeah, and you guys, you're going to reach out to them or they're going to reach out to you, and there may be temptation of a reconciliation. I would watch that. Okay, so let's talk about this other, I want to say a water sign from your past who is not the egomaniac. Like, you don't have bad blood with this person. There could have been a missed opportunity with a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. They may be reconnecting with their ex, or it could be that if you guys were an old flame or friends in the past, but at one point in time they were married, if they are divorced, and again, do not engage in third party, just save yourself the hassle, right? There may be something with a water sign, heart-to-heart conversations, honestly discuss your feelings with each other, especially a Scorpio. That has potential, again, if they truly are the King of Cups, if they are mature with their emotions, they're able to be vulnerable, but they're not messy with their love. The King of Cups, right? That stands a chance. An old flame with a water sign, particularly a masculine, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah, there's chemistry there. There's possible wedding vibes with a Leo. Again, that could be an ex-Leo too, so be careful. It might not be your wedding. You may meet this person at a wedding. Okay, you may both be in a wedding party together. Again, it applies for same-sex couples, but to be honest, I am getting masculine, feminine energies. You guys may be like the groomsmen and the bridesmaids in someone else's wedding, and that's how you meet. Again, the idea of being in costume. And this person probably, I don't know. It's like, their sense of humor is immature, but it's also adorable. Like they kind of command the room. This person may even make a speech at the wedding, and it's like it was not their place to do so. They just happen to stand up and be like, I'd like to make a toast. Like, they're very confident, they're very funny, but they have a very big, very good heart. Free yourself from the person who kept you trapped. I am getting the sense of there was an ex who really talked down to you, and it took you a long time to understand that that's not how you're supposed to be spoken to when you're in a relationship. I think you were diminishing your value and staying with someone who, again, it's not to say it was your fault. You actually thought they were very intelligent and going to deliver on their promises, but they didn't. You got duped. And that person you need to free yourself from. Possibly a Capricorn. That is my Capricorn card. And again, it's a unicorn too. So I almost it's saying go for the unique one. Go for the one that's different, but it's magical. That is a beautiful metaphor for what I'm seeing. It's very different. Okay? Like, it's very different, but it's magical. I like this a lot. Again, Aquarian vibes. They're my aliens of the zodiac. They're my unicorns. There's something unique and different about them. Again, possibly Sagittarius. Yeah, you were stuck with like a frozen potato. That's what I'm getting. It's just like, it's a spud. Like, that's all we got. And then engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher commitment. Interesting. So you do have divine pairings and wedding cards. Now, again, I want to be very blunt and honest. You could meet at a wedding. It could be friends who are engaged and you get to know their friends and that kind of thing. It could be that someone from the past who wasn't available at one point in time, if you truly feel they're a good person and treat you well and deserve your time and attention, there could be a reconciliation of an old flame or an old friend that could potentially lead to weddings, divine pairing, right? Or long-term relationships. If they're willing to run the race with you is sort of the metaphor I'm getting. If they're willing to run the race beside you, they can't do it for you. You both need to bring your own strength and endurance and energy and excitement into this relationship. If they're willing to meet you, you guys could run the race together. That's a cheesy metaphor, but I actually really like it. I think that's cool. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, right? And I am almost tempted to say that's what drew you to this method actor at the beginning anyway, right? Because they were confident. That was very alluring. That was very attractive. It was like, oh my gosh, they're so smart and intelligent. Well, strip it away and they're actually not that smart, but you can be, right? You can be authentic and true to yourself and love yourself, and that's going to bring in the right partnership. And the thing is, that's what this person is doing too. They're absolutely living their truth. Again, it might not be your truth, but again, you don't have to take this person on, but I think universe is trying to get you to step outside the comfort zone, to maybe take a chance on someone who, again, it's not that your safety is being compromised. It's just like, it's a little bit outside the people you usually date, but I think this person's interested in you. I don't know. I was going to say, you know who this is. It's almost like, they remind me of my younger brother. There's like that vibe, but anyway, moving on. Career. Let's talk about your career. That was cute. That made me laugh. All right. Tell me about Aries career, please. Let's get started. Messages, career, finances, money, loans, payouts, interviews, homes, things of great possession and value. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, yeah. Some of you may be getting a new home, sealing the deal with the realtor. That sounded kind of sexy, right? Hitting on the realtor. Yeah, some of you may be doing a new home or uprooting yourself. You may be in the stages of knowing you want to move, but you don't know where to yet. That's kind of an interesting message. Usually it goes in the reverse. Like, I have to move because of this job. So some of you, I'm literally getting, I'm sick of this environment. I'm sick of this place. I want to up and move. I just don't know where I should go yet. Well, maybe apply to some jobs first, but not necessarily. I mean, if you know you're going to be happy in Portland, Oregon, then, sure, go move there. You'll find the job. I've said this in every reading. I'm a big believer that if you're passionate about something, whether it's a location or a job or a person, if you put your best effort in, the universe will usually match you if it's right for you, right? And so, especially if there's some sort of job, you're toying with the idea of going back to school for it, but you don't know if the money will be there in the end. If you are absolutely certain it is your passion and it makes you happy, whether you get, paid or not, the payment will come. Again, when you exercise that muscle of, throwing your passion and your love into something, it may not come instantly, right? You may have to try it at, job A. And then, if you're not meeting your pay grade or your salary, your worth, your desire, you try it at place B, and then they will pay you what you want. It's not to say it all comes together instantly, but I'm a huge believer in go where your passion leads you, the money will find you. Because that's what the universe wants you to be passionate about life, right? I always say, I think we neglect the fact sometimes that we're here to have fun, right? In this lifetime here on Earth, when you're having fun, you're producing things that are good and have your energy and passion. People get excited about your energy and passion. They collect your thing, and then they go off and do their thing with energy and passion, right? And it's like the universe really does want that when we're thriving, when we're growing, when we're challenging ourselves and thriving. And what is that expression? We're firing on all cylinders. My fire signs, my Aries. That truly is what the universe wants for us, but sometimes we are put in awkward positions because we need those nudges to grow and change. So never underestimate the importance of when something is cut or removed from your life. I know sometimes it's hard to hear it at the time, but with time and distance and space and perspective, the higher perspective, the wisdom behind it, you may just come to realize, oh, it was never for me. I was clinging to that job or that person out of a codependency or a toxic desire because I was too afraid to do it on my own or whatever, right? Maybe that person was stifling your own freedom, your own intellectual freedom, or this person in your life was codependent. Know that when things get removed from your life by no doing of your own, it's for the guidance. It's for the insight. That's how, and again, it's hard to say that for every circumstance in life, right? Sometimes the universe throws you curveballs and it's a little bit harder to see through that lens of, oh, it's all happening for the best. I get that, right? Something about that, though, what you can walk away from, whether it was negative or positive, is the wisdom behind it, right? Yeah, especially the loss of a family member. I don't know why that's coming up in your career spread, but it could be that you're feeling lackluster about a lot of areas in your life, and it's starting to show in your career path. Again, maybe it's to get you to align to something greater. It's obviously not to say, you deserve to have that person removed from your grip, right? But ultimately, I think it might be saying it's not really about you. That person's, spiritual path was about them. And, let's say this, they were needed somewhere else, right? They lived out their life on earth. Their soul was meant to thrive in somewhere else and bless other people with their beautiful energy and spirit. So know that, and then be like, okay, but let's bring this back to me. Now, what can I do now with that information or with that lesson? Where can I shine my light? Where can I help other people in their life to thrive? It's almost like giving the gift of yourself in whatever work you choose to do. Go where your passion is. Absolutely. Are you having fun? Is there enough room for freedom, for growth, for your creativity? I feel like a lot of my Aries are very creative, very passionate about things, but you may be at a job where it's very stifled because there's old management. There's like old-timey management in place, and every time you come through with, hey, this is an innovative new idea, let's try it this way, you're met with, no, we can't do that. Like, again, father time. It is a card of Virgo, but I'm almost getting a vibe of like Saturn energy, like it's blocked, it's stagnant, where, it's always a no. It doesn't matter what idea you have, they're never going to listen to it. It's like, no, we're going down this path, not your path. Some of you, and I don't know why you would be clinging on to this job if that's the case, but again, maybe it's complicated. Maybe you love your coworkers. Maybe your health benefits are great. It's saying, I don't know, releasing something may actually be good for you because you will see the light elsewhere, and like your ideas will be valued more when they're put in the hands of another person, when you give it to a different source or give your energy to someone who quite literally is a better match. It's a better fit for you. Student teaching, I'm hearing that. Yes, some of you maybe end up being like a professor or a teacher of any kind, even if it's not like the academic teacher. You could be a yoga teacher, or you could be teaching acting classes. It doesn't have to be your main resource, but it's saying go towards something that's fun, so that way when you go to work, you can enjoy it, right? And I'm almost sort of getting a lot of my Aries may be transitional, like in between the big career versus the old one. And it's saying in the meantime, make the most of it. Don't spend a day of your life not doing one thing that's fun for you, right? Even if it's just a simple 5-minute thing, do that thing that lights your fire, that makes you excited. And then you may have some sort of epiphany of how you could start making money on that one little thing that brings you joy and brings you pleasure. Leo has come up quite a bit in the spread for you. Oh, how interesting. A lot of you, if you have a Leo that has passed away, especially like a paternal or grandparent figure, the matriarch, patriarch of the family, they're still watching over you. And it's about surrendering to divine timing, surrendering to the divine, that if something was pulled away from you, it was meant to align you elsewhere. It's about following that North Star, which eventually becomes the star in the sky, right? In tarot, it starts off in his lantern. It's small, it's tiny, but it's fire, right? It's thriving, but we got to make it bigger. It eventually becomes so much bigger, but you have to follow that scent, that breadcrumb trail, because it's leading you to something greater. The Hermit transitions into the Wheel of Fortune, growth, expansion, Jupiter, right? Blessings, good fortune. We like the Wheel of Fortune, right? It's not here yet. I don't see it yet, but that's what, whatever this is that you're going through, it's trying to get you to find what is inside you already that is like bankable. Like it would be good fortune for you to invest more spirituality, creativity, your intellectual pleasure. You could actually implement that into your life, and it's almost like just surrender. You have this and you're not using it to the best of your ability. So it's like surrender in terms of it's inevitable that this thing you're passionate about, you're going to continue to be passionate about it, right? If you really love it that much. So make more time for it. Apply to jobs, even if you don't necessarily qualify for them. You probably have some good foundation and skills that could, at minimum, again, like student teaching, you could get a foot in the door. It might not be the exact position you want, but again, with time, that star becomes much bigger. So have more faith in yourself. The Magician. Yeah, you control your destiny. The universe helps. The universe is your co-pilot, co-conspirator, however you want to say it, but you work the magic. You hold the magic wand. Again, as above, so below, right? He points to the sky and to what's, the earth, the ground. That's sort of what I'm getting here. It starts off small, but it gets bigger. Mercury energy, I've been saying a lot, it's an excellent card for communication within oneself too, for that confusion of, do I actually want to do this? This is about figuring out, well, what are the thoughts swimming around in my mind? Are they helpful? And what thoughts do I really need to take action on, rather than just sitting there going, that seems like it could have potential. It's action, right? It's mercurial, it's messenger energy. Any career involving writing, technology, speech, anything, like any form of communication, language, interpreters, things of that sort. You could even argue, singing, dancing, interpretive type arts. But he's magical, right? There's something like, I almost see this as commanding the attention of the room, which I very much associate with my Queen of Wands, and that is your card, male or female. You're the Queen of Wands, you're the entertainer, right? So there's something, again, magic about it. Like it draws your eye the way, I always say a campfire. You can sit there and watch it for hours and it's just fire, but there's something kind of beautiful and warm and, good memories, good experiences are exchanged. And an exchange of information and stories. Some of you may be storytellers. I think it's your time to shine. That's really what I'm kind of getting. Look how bright these cards are. And look at what you're walking away from. These colors are kind of cool. They're kind of cold. Again, it's not saying it wasn't for nothing. It served you intellectually, but it's like once you have the knowledge to move on the thought, then it starts getting more exciting. Then it gets yellow. Then there's more fire. There's more passion. You start driving the wheel again, rather than just being like a hitchhiker on the ride, so to say. Like it's almost like you've been like passing off the responsibility of major decision making to, to God, to spirit. I'm just going to, whatever they throw at me. But it's really the opposite. Universe is trying to get you to make those executive decisions for your life. Leo, Gemini, Virgo, collaborations in a spiritual community with those signs. Possibly a marriage with a Capricorn may follow suit. There's my Queen of Wands, yeah. Traveling with a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Doing something in medical, like doctors with a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You may be training, or it could be more spiritual healing type vibes, again, with water signs and empath. Especially for my Aries who have a lot of Pisces in their chart. You're a healer of some kind. I just don't think you know it yet. Some of you are going to work with animals. You may be an animal healer, or do some sort of work that it involves animals. I don't know if it's like horses on a farm, or maybe you're just a horseback riding person. I don't know what that is, but I'm seeing animals. An animal communicator. Quite literally, look at this, right? The communication card, Mercury, with who? With animals. That's very funny. Some of you may be fighting for working with the Humane Society, offering your jobs, or sheltering or adopting pets. What do you call it temporarily? Not like pet sitting, but like housing them until they find the real homes. Yeah, some of you are going to be working with animals, or again, you might just, I don't know, it's the month of December, right? You might just be house sitting for a pet, but I don't know, something about that. I think it would be very spiritually, it would be good for you. There's something very soothing about your relationship with a particular animal. Some of you are saving up money because you know it's inevitable. You're going to have to move to that city to really make it, to really do it in that industry or that field, or to attend that college, that university. It's like, you got to save your pennies, and it's killing you because you love to spend your money. That's sort of what I'm getting. Yeah, patience. Again, a card of Sagittarius and healers, earth angel type vibes. The sun's coming up. So yes, some of you have a Leo in your future that's going to be, again, very important in your career. It doesn't have, you don't have to make it romantic per se, though it certainly could be. Yeah, Leo doctors or Sagittarius doctors. Doctors, lawyers, spiritual. Reiki, I don't know what that is, like spiritual cleansing and healing of energies, practitioners, I'm hearing. I don't know what that is. You may be joining just some kind of spiritual community just for, for leisure, for sport, that kind of thing, but it may actually be very significant in how you move forward in your career. What's giving them anxiety here? The Wheel of Fortune. A lot of you are just stuck and stagnant, and it's driving you nuts. Well, word to the wise, push through, because you have changes coming in. And the thing is, I'm almost wanting to say these changes may actually come in very fast. And so if you've been living this very kind of slow, lethargic life, which does happen, right? We're living in crazy times, right? We've all kind of been on lockdown and doing kind of, a little bit of the inactive lifestyle, though not necessarily. Maybe you're hitting the gym. Be ready for major changes, because I'm almost getting that idea of lacing up your sneakers. Once you hear the whistle or the gun, right, you're off and running. Things are going to change very quickly, but whatever this is, we got to sort that out so we don't bring this anxiety into this next chapter of our life. I think it's finally time to let something go that you're not wanting to, but again, you might not be seeing the larger picture. The greater perspective is that this was never yours to begin with. So the longer you hold on to it, the more you're delaying this epiphany of what you're supposed to go towards. Don't live in the past, live in the present, but accept opportunities coming in the future. And I do want to say in the near future. This could be Sagittarius season. You may get important news or communications if you've been applying to jobs or networking via LinkedIn or something, that you could get good news or I don't know, communications about something that could really progress your journey forward, your career forward. And again, money, you do have some decent money cards. So yeah, whatever this is, we got to deal with this. Don't give up your power to negative thoughts, to the fear of what will transpire or what will become, because it's not real yet. It hasn't happened. So rather than living in this fearful state of, oh my God, well, what if this and what if that? And, I want to move, but I don't have the money. And how will I? It's like you're drowning in your thoughts, and it's become like a mental prison. Again, one at a time. If you're feeling overwhelmed, tackle one small obstacle at a time, and then remove it. Then on to the next one. It's like you need to make baby steps to get yourself out of this, like, there's so many things going on at once and I don't know what to do. For others of you, it's like there's nothing going on. I'm so bored and I don't know what to do. Again, that to me is saying, well, fill your time with what brings you happiness. I mean, I know, easier said than done, but that solution seems pretty important. Yeah, this is about the ending of a cycle. We're in Scorpio season, which metaphorically, it's about allowing things in our life to die off if they don't serve us anymore, right? Again, if they're meant to be in our life, they'll grow back in the spring, but allow them to organically, die off, remove it. In my deep Scorpio readings I did for everyone, it's about that skeleton in the closet that you don't want to address. Is it that you're clinging on to something out of familiarity, but it's not actually for your highest good? It's about addressing that and understanding, oh, that's why I was clinging on to it, because I didn't value my own skills and talents. I was selling them at a lower rate than I should have been. And had I raised my prices a while ago, I would have a lot more freedom to go take that trip, to go pursue that career in the city, right? It's time to, look at, if you haven't already, examine the skeletons in your closet and decide why you're holding on to them, because it is ultimately the past. Let it die out and then pursue new things. Ace, Wheel of Fortune, Magician, you have all the aces here. They're all on your table. You got the tools in your tool belt. How are you going to use them? That's what I got for you, Aries. Let's pull some career cards and wrap her on up. Aries. The Ram. Aries. Yeah, get out of the cage. You're meant to fly free. A lot of bird metaphors here. In fact, Bob Marley. Yeah, literally, John Cage, right? And then, what was that song? 3 Little Birds Sat on My Window. Is that Everything's Gonna Be Alright? Woke up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds perched on my doorstep. Those lyrics probably aren't all right, but you get my point. You get my metaphor. Oh, there it is. Career change. You're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you deserve. You desire and deserve. The shining light. Yeah, the travel is going to be big for a lot of you, and I'm almost seeing spotlights on stage where some of you, like, the acting troupe in high school or in college, and then it's like you kind of drifted away from that. Some of you may be going back to your old lines, your old scripts, your old performances. You may be watching old home movies and reliving what it was like to actually fulfill that dream of yours, even if, it was high school. It was just, well, was it just high school? Are you sure it was just high school? Yeah, I don't know. A leap of faith and a necessary risk. This says study, reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. And I think that's what that Ace of Swords is too, because I do sense for some of you, you're just not certain. You've reached a point where it's like, you know what you don't want, but you're not exactly sure what you do. Well, this is a good place to start. Again, make a crazy wish list, right? If you could have any 10 careers, and then actually look at them practically. Well, what would I actually want to do? Why am I attracted to that? Could I do something similar, but in this format, right? Shoot for the stars, and then, you can always kind of, that expression, throw it on a canvas and then, edit, take away, add more. But you got to start somewhere. So dig deeper, do some studying, right? Intellectually, like kind of discover why. And then creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. Yeah. I know a lot of Aries who are insanely creative, just have like crazy amounts of talent and passion. Like I'm thinking of 5 of my good friends that I know who are Aries, and they're all extremely artistic. So again, it doesn't say you have to do that, but even as a side hustle or just as leisure, pleasure, enjoyment, passing the time activities, you may jigger something loose by doing some sort of self-expression and creative project. Give it a try. You got nothing to lose. Anyways, all right, Aries, thanks for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know in those comments down below what resonates, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.